Hi, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hello. We wanted to come on here today and just tell you the top thing that we're actually thankful for in our life. There's so many things that we're thankful for. So, I couldn't even list all the blessings that we have that we don't even know that they're blessings because we're so used to them all the time. But when you sit down and you think about all the wonderful things that you have that you've just been completely blessed with, and some like are out of nowhere, we could go on and on with lists. But today we decided we were going to come on here and say Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We truly appreciate the friendships that we've developed through Facebook. We consider these friendships like family. So we just wanted to make sure that we got on here and just said how much we appreciate every single person that is in our Facebook friends list or people that happen to follow us. And my husband doesn't have a Facebook, but he is welcome to my Facebook anytime. So we wanted to come on.
Only with you.
Only with my permission.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to come on here and say, what's the one thing, if we could list out of all the things that we have to be so grateful for, what is the one thing that we're truly thankful for? So we don't know each other's thankfulness, what we're actually going to say. We just said hop on and you're just going to talk about it. And then after we list our one thing that we're actually thankful for, we're going to list the one thing that we have a hindrance in our life and how we can actually switch it, because a lot of it has to do with our mentality of our thankfulness and how we can switch things that are hindrances in our life and make it into a positive thing, grow from it, and still be thankful for it during that journey.
Right.
So, do you want me to go first, or?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay, the one thing that I am truly thankful for is knowing that there is a God, knowing that there's something better in our life than what is going on, that there is a divine purpose in our life, that we have a calling, that each person has gifts, whether we think that or not. We are gifted. We were made with, a purpose, a gifting. And if I didn't know who Jesus Christ was, and if I didn't have God that could come into my life and actually change the way I view things, and to give me that assurance that any trial and tribulation that you go through, that He is walking every step of the way, and that He has a solution at the end of the tunnel. If at the end of this journey, if I actually put my trust and my faith in Him alone, and not be looking to the left, and not be looking to the right, and not be wavering on this and listening to the world's point of views and their input, then if I keep my eyes focused on God, that it's okay. And that without Jesus, I know for a fact I would not be a happy person. I would not be full of joy based off of what happened to our son and what happened to one of our daughters. I would not be happy with vaccine injury. I would be still in that state of when this happened and I embraced it and I knew the truth. I would still be angry and bitter and just not happy. I wouldn't be able to feed into anybody else or help anybody else, because I'd be so soaked up in my own sorrow and my own bitterness and my own angerness that I would actually be useless. So because God was able to pluck me out of that stage that I went through for a while and said, your time is done. You can mourn, but you can't mourn for the rest of your life. So I am so thankful, because with Him, I've learned how to have kindness, and through successes, be humble and not be in this empowerment stage of life where it's all about me. I'm empowering my future. I am doing everything. I cannot stand that, because you know what? Everybody breathes because of God. Everybody has something good in their life because God shows us mercy and grace. It is not about every time you get a blessing that you achieved that blessing. You need to humble yourself, and you need to know there is one greater than you, and that He deserves all praise and glory. So because of Him, He has kept me humble, grounded, and thankful for the things that I have, whether they're big or small, that come into my life. So that's what I wanted to share.
That's a hard one to follow. That is, for me, the thing that I'm thankful for, though, that I always think about is there's hope, and there's only hope through Jesus Christ. And for me, I'm thankful for what He did on the cross, and I'm thankful to know that at the end of the day that there is hope. A lot of what Natalie says, I see it every day. People are trying to live through worldly views. I've done it myself. Promotions, trying to get ahead, trying to make others like you. But when it's all said and done, you know that there's a God who loves you, that there's somebody up there that believes in you, no matter what. And a lot of times, we're hard on ourselves. The world comes down on us. And when we have no one else to cry out to, we can cry out to Jesus. And I think about your mom. Your mom passed away last year. And one of the things that she said, and my father-in-law, Bill told me this, is that she cried out to Jesus. She says, Jesus, take me home. And when it's all said and done, everything that you do here on earth needs to be for Christ. And through Christ, we live through Christ. We do for other people, our acts of kindness, generosity, treating others as we'd want to be treated, and just being humble and being nice to people. That's what I'm thankful for. And I guess my worldly thing that I'd be thankful for would be my family, because first is Christ. He's at the head of this house. I'm not the head of the household. I know many men, even women, we argue who's going to be the head of the household. It's going to be the woman, or it's going to be the guy that's head of the household, and we butt heads, but Christ is always at the center, and he's the head of our household. And then next comes my family, my beautiful wife, my children, because, you can have all the friends in the world, a whole bunch of Facebook friends and people at work and stuff, but your family, your family is the heart of who you are, your wife, or your husband, your loved ones, and your kids. They're the ones that are going to be there by your bedside when you're dying and you're taking your last breath. And I realize those are the important things. And so often we get lost with our careers and trying to get to that next step or get that title. I'm a PhD, I'm a doctor, I'm this, I'm a principal, I'm a manager, I'm a CEO, I'm a CFO, I'm all these different titles, president, vice president. All they are is just titles. At the end of the day, it's what comes from the heart and what we do for other people. And, that's hard for me. I really struggle with that every day, trying to remember that. And, I go to school and I see these teachers going to different classes, me, myself, trying to get ahead and trying to make it to the top. And you're never satisfied with just one degree, never satisfied with just having your family and having your loved ones around you. Never satisfied where you are, and just being thankful for what you have. There's people out there that don't have jobs. There's people out there that are going through illnesses and sicknesses and things like that, or seeing other family members struggle. Going to work, I realize, man, I have a job and I have a place where I can make money and take care of my family. So I want to be thankful for those small things. And I think the hindrance is just the world view of what I'm supposed to do and the next step of where I'm trying to get ahead and where I'm supposed to be, and all these different things coming at me. Oh, you have to be a school principal, or you have to make it to central office, or do all these things. And you know what? In that classroom, I'm making a difference with those students. And I need to love each and every one of them and remember that they have a purpose in this life, and I need to be that mentor, that adult that's going to guide them and help them be successful. Yes, that's number one when I'm not here at the house. But that's pretty much it.
That was beautiful. So. That really was nice.
Yes.
Okay, so the one thing that's very humbling and you have to stay grounded. You can't get caught up on your status. Yes. And I'm telling you, this world is going to push that self-empowerment is the way to do everything. So there's a lot of expectations on women now. There's a lot of expectations on men, because these expectations make that women have to go out there and they have to be bold, and we don't care what anybody thinks about us. And I'll tell you, I don't want to be that way. I want to be kind. I want to go out there and be able to inspire people. I want to be able to help people, but I never want to come across that I don't care what you think about me. We shouldn't really let that soak into us, But nobody wants, it's just like when you're a kid. Do you ever want to be called names when you're a kid? No. So when you're older, do you want to be called names by an adult? No, you don't. So it does affect you if you have a heart to some degree, but you push forward through that because you know who you are as a person and you know who God wants you to be as a person. So instead of me coming backlashing at you, because I've seen a lot of women that I admire and I start listening to them, they're like, I just don't care about people. You can say whatever you want about me. I'll believe
it really is about
and
people.
I'm like, I'm turned off because I'm like, you do have to care, and you don't have to have that front of putting this image on that that you're indispensable. Nothing can hurt you, because you know what? If you are human and you do care about people and you do have empathy, things do get to you, but your root core doesn't change. You're like, I know who I am. Did what that person say hurt me, and did it suck? Oh yes. But I know who I am despite what they say.
Right.
So those are the people, the mentors in my life that I look for and I admire because they're real women. They're real because they have emotions. And I don't ever want to come on here and put up a fraud that I'm not terrified to go on Facebook because, yeah, do I feel comfortable on Facebook? Not really, but I take my CBD oil and it brings my anxiousness down. But I'm never going to tell you that I don't get nervous going on here, and I don't get nervous sharing my personal life, because that would be a lie. I share my personal life because I'm going through this, and if I'm going through something like vaccine injury, people need to know what vaccine injury is. They need to know what a life is really with a child that's vaccine injured. They need to know what severe vaccine injury is, a nonverbal, in-diaper child who cannot be left alone without somebody adulting him. So that's reality.
And I know we got to go here soon, but it
okay,
really
let's pick our things that are hindrances.
Well, I think a hindrance, and I think it's for all of us, and it's for anybody that's going to be watching this or anybody that's out there, is we live in a self-serving world, and we have to remember that, you know, we're taught to be independent, and we're taught not to depend on anybody else, and it's all through hard work, do it all myself, but you can't do it by yourself, and that's when you realize that you have to rely on somebody that's higher than you, and then that's through Christ. And if you're not a believer and you're not a Christian, you still can't do it all on your own. You need people. It takes, you know, imagine raising a child. You know, I'm sure you've heard that it takes an entire village or community to raise a child. It takes an entire community to come back together to rebuild a city that was hit by a tornado or a storm. You know, it drives me nuts, and I've been guilty of it. You know, I'm going to do all this by myself, and I'm going to make it all happen. It's going to be all because of me, because of my independence and nobody else. You know, if you live like that, it's going to be a very tough life. You need people, and that's why we come together, and that's why we celebrate Thanksgiving, to give thanks for all the people that have been there in our life. I mean, we do sincerely need one another in life, and you just can't go at it alone. That's you know, that's why we need each other in life, and I don't know how much to say about that. I mean, because I see it all the time, the self-serving, and that's what Hollywood wants you to think, that you know, hey, I've had women supervisors and stuff, and I respect them, and really I don't even look at gender. I look at their ability to be successful and do the job, but also I look at their heart. What are they trying to do for their people? Are they looking out for their, you know, their company or their schools or whatever they're over? I look at the leader's heart, the inner core. I don't look at, I am woman, I am independent, I roar. No, I'm looking at, are you a selfless leader? Are you willing to go out on the line, step out, and help other people? Do you sincerely care about others before yourself?
I see this in men and women, so we're not going to put it just on women.
Right. And I understand exactly. I mean, but men guilty of it too. I own this company. I run this house. I do all this stuff myself. It's all because of me that we're successful. You know, I don't need anybody's help. I'm a man. I'm strong. I can do this myself. You know, you need other people in life. No, you can't go at it alone.
Okay,
but that's really all I have to say.
Okay, so the one hindrance that I have that it really drives me nuts all the time is my eyesight. I have the worst eyesight. I wouldn't say the worst because I'm sure there's always somebody underneath me. But my flip of that is, well, last night we were at his optometrist, at 6 o'clock at night because I went in there and she's like, how can I help you? I said, help me to see. I need to leave here so I can see. My mind, I cannot articulate. I cannot think. I mean, it's affecting everything that I do because I cannot see. So we were there and she actually got me some contacts, again, which I only can see far, so I can't even see comets or anything. But it's better than nothing, and I will put my reader glasses on because I don't care because I have to see. But to flip it around is, thank goodness, I do have an alternative where I can see. Thank goodness my eyes are still working enough where contacts can work and glasses can work. Right. And I have eyesight. So to me, I have to be thankful for that, even though it's very poor eyesight, but it's still, I can see colors, I can see shapes, I can see perfect with contacts in far away. So that's a total blessing for me.
Take the small things for granted, but babe, we really got to get to my parents' house.
Yeah.
And get going.
Do you have a hindrance?
My hindrance is exactly what I was talking about, just the self-serving, trying to be independent and go at it alone. And I'm realizing more as I get older that your relationships with people do matter. So.
Okay, well, God bless you guys. You have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we will see you on Saturday with Saturdays with the Steffens. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I just